Hello and welcome to a somewhat unofficial episode of the Right Wing Report filmed in my car before I walk into school. My name's JP and today is Inauguration Day, so I just wanted to say a few things real quick before I go in. Hopefully, after the election and even the recall election, there were people crying that Trump had won, so I'm kind of hoping that people are crying today. I might try to snag some video of them if I do see people crying. No, I kid you not, people were crying after election day. So I would like to, see that today, because their tears give me joy. And I guess that's a bad thing for me to say, but I do enjoy it somewhat. I'd like to talk real quick about some of the stuff I expect today. So, other than the fact that CNN has kind of casually called for the assassination of the president-elect and the vice president-elect, I do think that today Donald Trump's inaugural address is going to talk about a lot about unity, and unity is very important right now because we have a new president. We need to actually get back to work and do something. He wants to make this country great again, and I think despite the fact that there's a lot of leftists that don't like him and a lot of conservatives that don't like him, I think we should at least give him a shot. Personally, he wasn't my favorite guy, like I said, but I think we need to give him a shot, and we need to take what he says at face value for right now until he starts doing things that may or may not be what he says he's going to do. This week and this past week, the past couple weeks have been pretty bad as far as the media cycle. You have this whole fake news BuzzFeed story, which BuzzFeed. A quick story. So I have a Young Republicans club here, and we were having a meeting in the morning, and this was right before the BuzzFeed story broke, and it was right as it was kind of just getting released, and no one really knew what it was yet. And somebody said, so I heard that there might be some damaging evidence for Trump, some kind of bad hit story. And you were like, okay, what is this? Like, go ahead and start talking. He goes, so on BuzzFeed, and the entire room starts cracking up because it's BuzzFeed, and no one takes them seriously except people who I don't even want to know who takes BuzzFeed seriously, because I probably go to school with some of them. So that happened. CNN and Donald Trump, the reporter got in a little bit of a spat the other day. I saw that. John Lewis is calling him an illegitimate president. A lot of people are coming out and calling him illegitimate, claiming the Russians. They're still claiming the Russian thing. This hasn't been an easy election cycle. This hasn't been an easy road at all for Trump. And then now that we're actually having to force people, or not force people, but there are people that don't believe that he's the president. Like when Obama got elected, people were like, okay, he's the president. Let's wait until he does something bad and then decide whether or not we like him. So anyway, that I could go on about that. But that's pointless. So I do hope to see some unity, especially within the Republican Party, but also maybe bring in some Democrats who actually will try to work together, because I know that a lot of the polarization that's been going on makes it seem like Democrats and Republicans can't work together. But when it comes to the good of the nation, I do believe there are some Democrats who genuinely believe that and who aren't ridiculous globalists like some of them are. And I think we can make some improvements under a Trump presidency. And I think that's about it. I think that's what I wanted to say. The Deplorable last night. I heard that there were violent protesters outside the Deplorable, and I like saying that. Whoever came up, that's very clever. They came up with that. It was one of the Fox News, front page stories. There were violent protests outside of this Deplorable Trump event. It's like, really, guys? You lost, and now you're gonna go to our party, and it's like a rival football team losing, and then going to the celebration party and like trying to beat people up, which I guess may happen, but it's very immature, I would say, of these protesters. I mean, if you want to protest an event, I understand. Usually, you have Ben Shapiro wrecking his protesters, intellectually, but if you want to go protest an event that's, I don't know, somewhat based on politics and activism, that's fine. I just think, and of course they still have the right to. I'm not saying they don't have the right to. I think they just look a bit silly when they're going to a party and protesting. People are dressed up trying to have a good time, and these people are getting violent, which is ridiculous. So I really think we need to see less violence from the left, a little more acceptance of Trump on the right, and I think we'll do all right. I think some of the things that Trump wants to do, I think, can be achieved, and and will actually benefit the country, and I hope that they do. And so that's all for right now. Hopefully I'll get on later and talk about the address, and I should have some more content up soon. So if you like that, please subscribe. Once again, I apologize for the cell phone video. Also follow me on Instagram at the Right Wing Report 76, and I have a Twitter at RightWingJP76. I'm not really sure how to use Twitter very well, but I do know how to use Instagram, so go give me a follow over there, and have a nice day.